Some lesbian romance movies on Netflix are loved by everyone. They're praised, shared, and constantly recommended. And yet a few of them just never worked for me. Not because they're bad, but because they didn't make me feel what a lesbian love movie usually makes me feel. Before we start, if you love WLW movies, queer romance, and real opinions instead of copy-paste lists, subscribe to WLW Watchlist and turn on the notification bell. This channel is for people who actually care about queer stories. I've watched these films. I understand why people call them classics. I see why they show up on every list of lesbian films on Netflix and LGBTQ movies on Netflix. But connection is personal. And sometimes, even the most popular queer romance movies can leave you cold, confused, or emotionally distant. So in this video, I'm talking about 3 lesbian romance films people genuinely love, but I don't. And I'm explaining why, honestly, respectfully, and without pretending my taste has to match the crowd. And yeah, I already know this comment section is about to be interesting. Number 3. So My Grandma's a Lesbian. This is one of those lesbian romance movies people usually describe as cute, sweet, and feel good. And I get why. So My Grandma's a Lesbian is warm, colorful, and built like a classic romantic comedy. It shows up on a lot of lesbian love movies lists, especially when people are looking for lighter WLW movies or easy queer romance movies to watch. But personally, it just didn't land for me. I went in expecting to feel something deeper. What I got felt more like a sitcom version of a lesbian film on Netflix. The story focuses a lot on reactions, chaos, and comedy around the relationship instead of really letting us sit inside it. And while that works for some viewers, I never fully connected to the love story itself. It's not that the movie is bad. It's just very safe. For me, some of the best lesbian romance movies on Netflix take time to build emotional weight. They let us feel the tension, the risk, the tenderness. This one moves so quickly and stays so light that I never felt grounded in the relationship. I was watching it happen, but I wasn't feeling it. I also think the movie spends more energy on the shock and humor of the situation than on the actual romance. And when I sit down to watch lesbian romance films or LGBTQ movies on Netflix, I usually want the love story to be the heart, not just the setup. I completely understand why people love this film. If you enjoy cozy, colorful romantic lesbian movies on Netflix with family comedy and low emotional stakes, this might be perfect for you. But for me, as far as queer love stories go, this one felt pleasant, not powerful. And when I'm watching lesbian movies, I'm usually looking for something that stays with me after the credits. Number 2, Beauty. Beauty is one of those lesbian romance movies on Netflix that looks like it's going to break your heart in a meaningful way. The lighting is soft. The music is emotional. The performances are serious. It sits comfortably on a lot of lists of lesbian films on Netflix and modern queer romance movies. And I really wanted to love this one. But this is where it lost me. The film promises a love story about a young singer caught between fame, family, and her girlfriend. And while that sounds like the setup for a powerful lesbian love movie, the romance never truly feels like the center. The industry pressure, the control, the discomfort, all of that takes up so much space that the relationship itself starts to feel like a background detail. For me, the love story didn't get enough room to breathe. When I watch romantic lesbian movies on Netflix, I want to feel the connection between the women. I want to understand why they choose each other. With Beauty, I often felt like I was watching pain, not intimacy. The film is heavy. It's stylish. It's intentionally uncomfortable. But emotional weight isn't the same thing as emotional closeness. I also struggled with how queerness was framed. Instead of being a place of refuge or tenderness, the relationship often felt swallowed by control, silence, and suffering. And while that is real for many people, it isn't what I personally look for when I sit down for WLW movies or lesbian romance films. I don't need fantasy, but I do need connection. I understand why some viewers find this film powerful. It speaks to exploitation, pressure, and identity. As a piece of LGBTQ cinema, it has things to say. But as a queer love story, it left me emotionally distant. And for me, the best lesbian romance movies don't just show pain. They make space for love inside it. Number 1. Blue is the warmest color. This is probably the most famous title on this list. When people talk about lesbian romance movies, this one always shows up. Blue is the warmest color is on so many lists of best lesbian films on Netflix, great queer romance movies, and must-watch WLW movies. And yes, I get why. The acting is strong. The emotions are intense. The love story between Adele and Emma is messy, passionate, and unforgettable. On the surface, it looks like the kind of lesbian love movie that should completely wreck you. But this is exactly why it sits at number 1 for me. Because while this movie is often praised as a great lesbian romance film, it never fully felt like it was made for lesbian viewers. A lot of the intimacy doesn't feel intimate. It feels observed. It feels staged for an outside eye. Instead of pulling me into a queer love story, It often pulled me out, making me aware of the camera, the framing, the length, the way certain moments were held on screen. And that changed the emotional connection for me. When I watch romantic lesbian movies on Netflix or any strong lesbian romance films, I want to feel like I'm inside the relationship, not studying it. I want to feel the softness, the tension, the inside jokes, the small gestures. Blue is the warmest color, focuses so heavily on physical intensity and emotional suffering that it leaves very little room for tenderness. The result? I saw obsession. I saw heartbreak. I saw desire. But I didn't always feel love. I understand why people defend this film. It meant a lot to many viewers. It opened doors. It started conversations. And as a piece of LGBTQ cinema, its impact is real. But as a lesbian romance movie, it doesn't give me what I personally go looking for in lesbian love movies on Netflix or modern queer romance movies. And that's exactly why it lives at #1 on this list. And that's my list, lesbian romance movies people love, but I don't. Not because they're bad, but because they made me question representation. Now tell me, which one do you disagree with? Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's keep these conversations going.